What's going on, everybody? All right, I'm gonna share this email with you, and I'll see if I attach a video to this in another video. It's an email I got from William. I have the head of Citadel Execution Services at Citadel confirming the secondary books you talked about 2 years ago. Proof of what you tried to tell the family. 1 minute 20 seconds or 1 hour and 20. No, sorry. Yeah, 1 minute 20 seconds. He said the quiet part out loud. There it is. He's admitting dark pools, secondary books. It's criminal what happened to good people in AMC, screwed by Wall Street and popcorn. X-Force. Here, buddy, Will. Oh, let me tell you something. I had a little conversation with him. When I first came on YouTube and I pointed certain things out and I said that's not the price and stuff like that, it's because you have to understand keeping a second set of books is technically what a dark pool is, because at a dark pool you get to see the real price of everything. But then they took it to another level. They had a secondary book system. Remember I said there's multiple? They had a secondary book system on the dark pool. And when you were wondering how I was getting the pricing and not understanding, how is he saying AMC is at 2003 and it got, based on my numbers and a couple of other people, it got as high as $18,000, with some 18,000 something, whatever. Then it was unbelievable. It was to the point where I was like, it doesn't even make any sense. This is like, I mean, that's when we got hit with the massive synthetics and everything else like that and whatever. You saw the FTX claiming that they had, I don't know how much they have, 4 million AMC shares that nobody ever proved that they had, but nonetheless, they were lending them out. Show. I was trying to warn everybody because I came up in that system. And I know how those brilliant minds work. Also, the fact that they can control the flow of the market has gotten ridiculous to a point where it was just unbelievable. But when I was trying to point that out, the secondary book system, it opened the door to a level of fuckery that was no good. That was the dark pool. This third level of book system, which is the secondary books for dark pools, which is, yeah. You have to understand, when I popped up on YouTube and I was trying to explain to you what was going on, and I was saying this is an impossible play to pay out. You cannot pay, you really think we were only 4 million, 90% of the float? You cannot pay out 6 or 7 million shareholders 18,000 a share. It's not possible. It would have broken down everything in the market. It would have destroyed, it would have vaporized everything. This would have sent everything into total chaos, liquidity crisis, all kinds of stuff. That's why I believe that all this stuff was allowed, because it was like, yeah, what do you want to do? If we don't do this, what's going to happen? It was going to be systematic broker failure. Remember I talked about that. I said you will have broker failure after broker failure after broker failure, and at the end of the day, where would this wind up? This will wind up at the doorsteps of Citi or Morgan, where a major liquidity crisis will happen. And how many shares how much assets under management for all these brokerage firms would have been just liquidated and dumped on the market? It would have been the worst horrific crash in the world. We would have been blamed for it, but that's besides the point. We got into AMC. We didn't do anything wrong. We chose well. It was the perfect short squeeze. We beat them. But it was kind of like a green light to go, okay, now we gotta protect ourselves. That's what they did. As far as popcorn, think about it. That's like that was easy peasy for them. He was their guy. So at the end of the day, let's face it. How many things did popcorn do with AMC and the board? And who's the board? How many things did they do that any other company would have been like, oh, whoa, here? no problem. The reason I left Wall Street, as far as being invested in or whatever and like that, is because when you physically know that they're keeping separate ledgers to manage their profitability and guaranteeing your loss with the aid of the company that you're the shareholder in, you start saying to yourself, okay, I can't be a part of this. See, you guys were retail investors coming in and stuff like that. This is different. It's like, I have friends that are doctors. They look at, when I talk to them about my treatments and stuff like that, they look at things totally different than, say, I would. So they're objective in a different way. That, no, you don't have to do that. Why don't you do this? Well, you've already done this. They look at it differently. I've been around this world. I've been around these people. I know what. They're not all. It's just, this is the predatory nature of it. And it was open season on us. And still to this day, people are like, no, but the MOAS is coming. I don't get into AMC anymore. I don't. I just, Will send me this email, and I just need to just point out to people, this is how AMC shareholders were beaten down. Because no matter what we did, they altered the flow of money, pressure. They just controlled everything. It's like they kept opening up another floodgate, another floodgate, another floodgate. So this way, the water never, do you understand? It's like the creation of ape. Nobody answered for that. Nobody even defined what ape was. And now ape is gone. But the money that was made by it, off of our backs, off of our money, nobody will ever answer for that. And I was trying to protect everybody by giving them, giving them a view into this world. But it was very hard when everybody's screaming, diamond hands, diamond hands. Do you understand? Being over in the crypto world now with XRP and XLM and the other coins, we'll get into those. The reason I did this, like I said, I could have just shut the fuck up and made my money. Because retail cannot influence my position. You guys, you guys not sending me money. You guys don't pay me. I don't do any private memberships or Discords or any of that shit. There's no pump and dump here because at the end of the day, I am not selling my XRP for a good long time. I did it because I felt such a bad taste in my mouth that I saw Wall Street turn against, listen, it's done a lot of bad things, but I saw it turn against everyday people. And that being said, it was one of these situations where I did retire from this. I did say my goodbye. I was actually sitting right here when I decided I'm not going to do this anymore. I was done. I only came back because a sense of fucking guilt that I had that this was done to you. And it had nothing to do with me. I'm not like the other influencers that were paid, super chat me, all kinds of stuff. AMC to the moon. You never heard me say that shit. I said, this is going to run. These are the brackets. This is the price where it's really at right now. They have secondary book systems. They have multiple secondary books. You've all heard me say that. I told you they're synthetics. I told you there were more shareholders than they were publicly. Do you understand the kind of do you understand where my fucking feet were, like sticking my pinky in the bad, evil, dark lake? But I was doing that to try to help everybody. People don't do that kind of shit in this world. Whatever. That being said, I moved on with my mission. My mission now is to get people to recoup everything they lost with AMC, with XRP or XLM, or to get to the goal that they wanted originally to be financially stable, financially solid, or financially free. That's my thing. But I think William's going to make a video with that person from Citadel saying that if you're from this world, you know what's up. Do you understand? This is how it is. It's like, I'll give you an example. I know a bunch of feds. What's up, feds? Okay, I know a couple of federal prosecutors. Hi, people. They all told me I didn't do a fucking crime. What happened to me was a crime. But on paper, they got to acknowledge what was cooked. See, that's what happened with AMC. All the people that I knew, we knew it was a straight up crime. Like, holy shit, this is what they're doing. How they do? They're getting away with this. Nobody's doing anything. How they moving money? How they buying this gold mine? How they doing all this kind of wild shit? But on paper, we had to respect everything, even though we knew it was bullshit. And I was vocal about it. I was like, 90% of the float? How? I did the math. Remember, I did the math for Central Park. I said, how can we do 90% of the float, but then the institutes have their amount, and I did it together, and I'm like, we're way over. And if we're way over, that means what? Synthetics. Then you take a look at all the FTDs. What's FTDs? Naked shorting. I kept pointing these things out. Now my goal, my mission right now is to wrap us all up. Get us our cash and move on with life. I love you motherfuckers. But understand, right from the beginning, I didn't come here to go AMC to the moon. I came here to protect people. I hear, as a matter of fact, somebody just emailed right now, that fat fuck from Jersey, he's now begging for super chats and then telling everybody he's going to build a casino to send him money, that he's going to protect the AMC people. Like, you got scumbags like that in this fucking world. You think to yourself, like, for real? And he's like, oh, my brothers and sisters. I'm like, what a low-life scumbag. Whatever. I love you motherfuckers. You matter to me. That's how I see it. We'll wrap it up. We'll make our money. We'll be done. That's it.